everybody, in case you're new here, my name is Wambui-chubby, and if you are a returning subscriber, karibu tena. So today I'm going to be cooking dinner for a family of 5. Yes, I'm home for the weekend, so we're going to be cooking dinner. So let's see what I'm going to prepare. So I'm going to be preparing mokimo with beef stew and cabbage. So for my mokimo, I have waru, and I have my githeri, and I have my greens. Then for my beef, I'm going to be using onions and tomatoes, and then I have my cabbages. I've diced some onions in here and I've added some salt. So yeah, that's it. So for my mokimo, I'm going to start by boiling my potatoes. I'm going to add some salt. Add a little salt. Then I'm going to stir to mix the salt together. And I will cover as I wait for my potatoes to cook. For my meat, I'm going to start by first frying my onions. I'm going to fry my onions in oil. So as usual, we are going to cook our onions till they are golden brown. So my onions are browned. I'm going to add in my meat. I'm going to add my meat and stir. You make sure to stir very well. Then I'm going to cover and let my meat cook. Don't mind this sufuria, I'm preparing tea. So yeah, it's as easy as that. Let us check on the progress of the mokimo. So my potatoes are boiling. I'm going to add a little bit of my githeri. Kidogo tu. I think that is enough. I'm going to add my githeri. Then I'll cover again and wait for my potatoes to fully cook. My mokimo is ready. If you can see, my potatoes are well cooked. For these greens, I had already boiled them in salty water, so I'm just going to add them on top before I mash. I'm going to cover for just a few minutes to let them cook. Then I'm going to mash. Let us check on our beef. It is going on swiftly. For the meat, you don't need to add water because the meat already has its own water, so you let it cook with its own water. When the water dries out, it's when you add other ingredients. So let us wait. So I'm going to use this electric mixer to mash my mokimo. I'm not sure if I added enough greens. So let us mix and see. This makes work easier rather than using the moiko, the wooden spoon. So this one makes work easier for you. You see, it's coming along very well. Imagine it's just that and you're done. So in case you're eating mukimo on its own, you can add margarine or blue band, but because I have a stew, I'm not going to add margarine. It is okay like this, to avoid eating a lot of oils. Can you see how smooth it is? It's very smooth. The mixer makes it very, very smooth. And make sure your potatoes are completely cooked to avoid having lumps in the food. So over here I'm working with the task of multitasking. So as I await my meat to be ready, I'm going to start cooking my cabbages. I'm just going to steam them. I had told you I had added some onions and salt. So I'm just going to add them onto my sufuria. Adding salt earlier helps remove the excess water from the cabbage. As you can see, it has a lot of water. I'm not going to use it. So I'm just going to add my cabbages. Cover and let it, cook on low heat. So like that. Then I cover and let it cook. Just keep stirring until you're comfortable with the outcome. For me, I love my cabbage still a little bit crunchy. So I'm going to cover and cook it for like approximately 6 to 5 minutes. So I always prefer using blended tomatoes, but on this side of town the blender has jammed, so I'm just going to use finely chopped tomatoes. I'm going to add them on top of the meat. Then I'm going to add some salt. Add a little bit of salt. Then I'm going to cover. Don't mix, just cover and let your tomatoes cook with the steam that comes up on top of the sufuria. That way you're not going to be left with any chunks of tomatoes in your meat. So yeah, it's as easy as that. So my tomatoes are cooked. I'm going to stir. As I stir, you can see the tomatoes they're like disappearing into the sauce. And because most of my family members are spice free, I'm not going to add any spices. All my food is all natural. So it's just salt and tomatoes and onions. Just that. I'm going to add a little water. Make sure to taste the sauce and know if the salt is enough. For me it's enough. I'm not going to add any more salt. So I'm going to cover and let that simmer for a while and I'll be done. Let us check on our greens. on our cabbages. I'm going to stir them. I'm going to give them some like 2 to 3 minutes and I'll be done. So in short, I have like 5 minutes for all my food to be ready. And then we're going to serve and eat. So guys, my food is ready. As you can see, I have my stew, I have my steamed cabbage, and I have my mokimo. So yeah, it's a balanced diet. You can add spices. For my beef, I prefer adding the beef cube and curry powder and some chili. But since my family does not take spices, I've just added onions, oil and tomatoes. Just that and you have your ready made food. So till next time, bye.